Casey. We recently got some snow, enough to sled on, and I might be a grown-up, but I still know how to have a good time. So we got dressed in our snuppins and boots and unpacked the sled and walked to the nearby sledding hill. There were kids all over the hill, ranging from about 2 years old to high school age, and we were definitely the oldest ones sledding, and even older than some of the parents who were supervising. We were extra courteous about letting kids sled first and made extra sure there was nobody below us when we started down. It's one thing if your fellow 10-year-old slams into you, and entirely another thing if a 30-year-old slams into you. Anyway, other than maintaining an adult level of vigilance, it was just like any other sledding I'd ever done. The whole time we were sledding, I only saw one parent sledding at all, and it was a mom trying to show her kid that it was safe to go down the hill in a big snow tube they brought. She wasn't even sledding for herself. All the other grown-ups were wearing wool pea coats and outfits not suited to playing in the snow, just for watching their kids play in the snow. I find this so interesting because my parents wouldn't just supervise, they'd sled with us. One time in Atlanta, I don't remember this because I was so little, but it snowed and my mom knew the snow wouldn't last, so we were out at 10:30 playing in the snow because it was such a rare treat for that part of the country. When I got a little bigger, I remember racing my dad down this one sledding hill in Quebec near my grandparents' house. He went faster at first because he was heavier, and I went further because there wasn't as much drag. I remember sitting on my mom's lap, nervous that I wasn't the one in control, but confident she wouldn't spill or drop me. One of my favorite things about my parents is that they're both playful people. When I was a kid, I felt like I was invited along for the fun rather than just them indulging me in my childish activities. Sometimes the fun we had was fairly adult and they had to do a lot of coaching to prepare me for it, like watching historical movies and documentaries before our trip to France, but I usually got there in the end. What this taught me, and what I still see in them now that they're in their 50s, is that fun isn't just something for kids, but something you can and should cultivate your whole life. It might look different at different stages of life, but maturity, sportsmanship, and the ability to think carefully actually create opportunities for more fun, not fewer. I remember when I first realized that my mom always played board games because she likes board games. So my sister and I bought, I don't even remember what, but we bought this board game for Christmas, and she said, you finally figured it out. The board games were for me all along. Going over to her house for a visit involved slow mornings and long evenings of playing games, sometimes really involved games that take hours before and after getting done all the things that need to get done. It's a really nice way to make sure the fun happens. So this past week, my wife and I sledded down the hill surrounded by children, and we thought about how much fun we'd have bringing our daughter along, teaching her to cultivate fun and modeling for her that grown-ups don't have to stand on the sidewalk or up at the crest of the hill watching someone else have the fun. There's no time limit on sledding or anything else for that matter. That's the role model I had growing up, and it led to us being the only 30-year-olds on the hill. I hope that by taking my daughter along for sledding, rather than going along with my daughter so she can sled, we can show her that this stuff is for everyone, or at least can be. And I hope that someday my daughter will be grown up but still willing to play in the snow.